Happy Friday, everybody! So a few weeks ago I mentioned that I wanted to do a Q&A and I asked you guys to ask me questions, and you guys pulled through, and I now have a lot of questions to answer, so let's get to it. I've written them all down on this really loud piece of paper, so sorry if you hear that the whole time. Aurora asks, has there been a book or piece of fiction that has given you that life-changing moment, and if so, what book? So I talked about this a little bit in my book recommendations video, but I would say two different series have given me that, and that is the Gregor the Overlander series, because that's the series that actually got me into reading, and then also the Warm Bodies series because it really makes you think about life and humanity and all of that, which is definitely life-changing if you ask me. Rachel Pierce has a few questions for me, including what was your first fandom, which depends on your definition of fandom. I would say the Kingdom Hearts fandom, though I didn't really get involved with any of the actual people in the fandom, so I don't know if it counts, or the Jedward fandom. Second, what is your Doctor Who OTP? Definitely Ten and Rose. They are just so cute and I love them. Have you ever written fanfic? Yes, I have, and none of you will ever read it. Do you have any deeply unpopular fandom opinions? I don't think so. None that I can really think of right now, so no. Snuggy Jensen asks, what is your favorite shirt that Dan and Phil have worn? And honestly, I don't really pay attention to things like that, but I do know that I like Dan's moth shirt, which everybody likes Dan's moth shirt, so. And for Phil, I guess he always wears t-shirts, so I guess it's kind of nice to see him dress up a bit more. I don't know. I don't really care about clothes and stuff, so I don't know. So, I don't really know how to say this next person's name because it's Xing Cat. It's probably Crossing Cat, but in my head I always read it as Zing Cat, so I'm just gonna call you Zing Cat. Zing Cat asks, what do you think about fanfiction and do you read/write any of them yourself? I love fanfiction. I read it all the time and it's super fun. I used to write fanfiction, but I don't anymore. Also, do you attend conventions? If so, which and what do you like about them? I haven't attended a convention in quite a while, but I have attended SakuraCon, I think is how you say it, and that was an anime convention, which I wasn't actually that into anime when I went, so it was kinda but I had fun, so I'm hoping to go to things like Comic-Con and VidCon and Playlist Live, all that, hopefully next couple of years, but we'll see. Super Nelves, I think, asks, what are your favorite ships or fic recommendations? And honestly, I don't have any. As for ships, I kind of read any ship just because I focus on the story more than the ship, and fanfiction recommendations, the same thing. I don't really keep track of what fics I read, I just kind of read them and move on, so I don't have any saved, so I don't have any recommendations. Sorry. Lilacs and Lullabies asks, what's the best experience you've had / the best thing you've gotten out of a fandom? I guess just the friends that I've made. I have talked to so many people around the world through fandoms that I never would have talked to, and I've followed people purely because they're in a fandom and then become really good friends with them. So fandom makes it really easy to talk to people and make friends. If there's ever a lull in the conversation, you can just talk about the fandom, which makes it way easier to talk to each other. So fandom helps make good friends, I guess, is what I would say. And Nikki Claire asks me a lot of questions. First of all, which TV series alternate universe would you most like to live in? I see this question online all the time, and I can never quite decide. But I think that I would say Narnia because it seems like the nicest world where not everyone is dying all the time. Yes, horrible things happen with the witch and whatever, if you're talking The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but Aslan always takes care of it, so if you just like find Aslan and hang out there, you're good. Also, if you wrote a show, would you take on board fan suggestions or want it purely your story being told? I think that I would primarily want it to be my story being told because I have a story to tell, but if something was completely wrong with it and fans were just so against a part of it and they hated it, of course I would change it because I'm not telling the story just for myself. I would be telling the story for the audience as well, and I think it's important to make your audience happy to some extent. If they absolutely hate it, there's a reason and something needs to change. So I would definitely take on board suggestions when it's more of an issue, but not ever for like little plot things, because that's my story that I'm telling. So what fandom is your favorite to chat to? Definitely the Merlin fandom. I have never met anyone in the Merlin fandom who is not super nice. I think we're all too heartbroken by the ending to be mean to each other, so I've also not really seen any fandom drama, so that's nice, but I could just be in the nice part of the fandom. I don't know, but definitely Merlin. What type of storyline is most likely to get your attention? I don't know, a good one? As long as it's done well, I like most stories. I'm not that picky. Why do you think some fans are going beyond boundaries, voicing their dislikes in such a threatening manner? This question is really interesting, and the answer is I don't know. I wish I knew, because I would love to make it more positive. I'm not all for people being threatening, but I think it's hard for people to see things that are offensive or a lack of representation or things like that. When it's becoming such an issue, people are actually bringing attention to it, but nothing has changed yet. Hopefully that will change soon, and either things are changing or people are less terrifying about it. So we can make a change in positive ways, and I hope that that starts happening instead of the scary people yelling at everybody. If you could be a superhero, who would you choose and why? I don't know very many superheroes because I don't really watch superhero movies and I don't watch comic books. Not a superhero fan. But if I had to choose, I would probably choose Hawkeye, because first of all, he gets to still have a family and all that. You don't really see that much with other superheroes that I know of. And 2, he does archery, which I have a soft spot for. And then I have saved my favorite question for last, which is from Ryan Dawson, who asks, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? I love this question because I love my YouTube channel. I have been watching YouTube for probably 5+ years, and I have just gotten really invested in it. I love YouTubers. I love figuring out how YouTube works. I love the behind the scenes. I've always been just really interested in YouTube, and I've always kind of known that I wanted to do it, but I never did because I didn't know what I could do that would make me special, you know. I didn't want to be just another YouTuber making the same exact videos, all the tag videos, all the challenge videos. I didn't want to do that. But after thinking long and hard for 5+ years, I realized that I love fandoms, and I have never seen somebody who actually talked in depth about fandoms. And I saw that other YouTubers had made like 1 or 2 videos about fandoms and they did really well, and I realized that this was something that I could maybe tap into and actually turn out really interesting. And I love fandoms, so I would find it really fun. And so I decided to do it, and I do not regret it at all. So I guess I just wanted to do something different with YouTube, and I feel like I've accomplished that. I hope you guys think I've accomplished that, because that's the goal. So that's all the questions that I have, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I had a lot of fun. Doing my very first Q&A is kind of exciting because it means that people are actually interacting with me, which is my favorite part of my YouTube channel. I never thought that at this point I would have so many people talking to me and interacting with me and commenting. So you guys are all so important to me, and I love you all, and thank you all for your questions. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, and also I have 2 questions for you. First of all, how did you find my channel? And second of all, what made you click the subscribe button? I make videos every Friday, and I would love to see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye!